Hi, myself Amarjit Kumar Jha, and today we are going to discuss about the basic knowledge of what is chemical reactor and how many types it has. And we are also going to discuss types of reactor one by one in this video. So let's begin. First of all, we are going to know that what is reactor, and the very simple definition of reactor is a vessel or stage which makes two or more substances react chemically with each other. Or a piece of equipment in which a chemical reaction, and especially an industrial chemical reaction, is carried out. Or a chemical reactor is a process equipment wherein chemicals are fed in order to make them chemically react with each other for the purpose of making a desired product. Chemical reactors are designed in such a way to increase the net present value for a given reaction, and it is done by ensuring highest efficiency to output the desired product. These are the few basic definition of reactor. Now we are going to know that how many types of reactor is. There are 4 types of reactor. The very first one is batch reactor. The second one is continuous stirrer tank reactor, in short we say CSTR. Third one is plug flow reactor, in short PFR. Fourth one is semi-batch reactor. Here we go, the very first type, which is a batch reactor. In simple, the batch reactor is the generic term for a type of vessel widely used in the process industries. Its name is something of a misnomer, since vessels of this type are used for a variety of process operations such as solids dissolution, product mixing, chemical reactions, batch distillation, crystallization, liquid extraction and polymerization. In some cases, they are not referred to as reactors but have a name which reflects the role they perform, such as crystallizer or bioreactor. There are few advantage and disadvantage of reactor. Advantage is that the batch reactor lie with its versatility. A single vessel can carry out a sequence of different operations without the need to break containment. This is particularly useful when processing toxic or highly potent compounds. And disadvantage is batch reactor is that it requires lots of labor force to constantly charge reactants, discharge products, and then to clean the reactor for the next batch. Type second is CSTR, and the simple definition of CSTR is a continuous stirred tank reactor. CSTR is a batch reactor equipped with an impeller or other mixing device to provide efficient mixing. In chemical engineering, the name CSTR is often used to refer to an idealized agitated tank reactor used to model operation variables required to attain a specified output. Or in flow chemistry, a continuous stirred tank reactor, CSTR, equipped with features to continuously feed and exhaust reactants, is an example of a mechanically mixed flow reactor. Now, the advantages and disadvantage of CSTR. The biggest advantage of using a CSTR in industries is that it can produce a large amount of products, and being a continuous steady-state reactor, the reactor can keep on operating hours on end. And the disadvantage is that a CSTR cannot be used for reactions which have very slow kinetics because it will require a reactor of very large volume. The fabrication and operational cost of the reactor may make it infeasible. Batch reactor is used in this case. And third one is plug flow reactor. A plug flow reactor, PFR, is also sometimes called a continuous tubular reactor, CTR. In an idealized model, the profile of the reaction mixture can be considered to be made up of a number of plugs, and each plug having a uniform concentration. Or the idealized PFR model has an assumption that there is no axial mixing. It means that there is no back mixing inside the reactor. The advantage of PFR have a high volumetric unit conversion, run for long periods of time without maintainable, and the heat transfer rate can be optimized by using thinner tubes or fewer thicker tubes in parallel. Disadvantage of PFR are that temperatures are hard to control and can result in undesirable temperature gradients. And the last one is semi-batch reactor. As its name indicate, that a semi-batch reactor is a semi-flow reactor. It is a modification of batch reactor. It is also a closed vessel which contains agitator for the purpose of mixing the reactants thoroughly. And the difference is that one of the reactants is charged completely initially in the reactor, and the other reactant is charged continuously in the reactor as the time progresses. The advantage of using a semi-batch reactor is that if we are carrying out multiple reactions, then we have a greater control over yield or selectivity of the products. This reactor is extremely useful when we are carrying out an exothermic reaction, as the continuous flow of the other reactant can be varied to better control the exothermic reaction. And the disadvantage, or if we want to scale up the semi-batch process, then disadvantage over the continuous process reactors, CSTR and PFR, is that capital costs per unit scales up relatively a lot. Greater manpower is required to charge and discharge the contents of the reactor, to clean blades, to clean reactors, etc. So this is it for today video. We'll come back in next video with some other topic. Thanks for paying attention. Stay healthy and fit.